What are savings? How much money do you have right now that you aren't spending? Whatever amount that may be, that counts as your savings. It's money that you keep aside for the future, rather than spending it in the moment. One might assume it's the money that's left over after paying off all your expenses and other needs, which means net salary minus expenses equals savings. Wrong. The correct way to look at your savings is actually net salary minus savings equals expenses. Hey guys, it's Fire, back with the next video in my series, What is Financial Literacy? Today we're going to cover savings and compound interest, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So say you receive a monthly salary of $5,000. Of that, first you have to pay yourself. Pay yourself 25% of that 5K and use the remaining amount to use for your expenses. Using that method of savings, you have to train your mind to budget within the amount you have for your expenses. After you take away 25% for your savings, you have to spend as if your salary is only $4,000, and then meet your expenses and needs within that 4K. This is also called living below your means. Now that we know how to save money, it's important to start saving at an early age. The earlier, the better. Is it better to start saving $1,000 per month at 16 years old or $1,000 per month at 60 years old? And this leads us into compounding interest. It is believed that Albert Einstein once said, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." Albert Einstein realized the importance of compounding interest, and this is easily proved by math. Take a look at this table here. You make an initial deposit of $1,000 into your new savings account, meaning that's your principal amount. Every month you contribute $500 into your savings account for the next 5 years. The interest rate your bank provides is 2% and will compound annually. At the end of 1 year, you have $7,140. At the end of 2 years, you have $13,402.80. 3 years, and you have $19,790.80. In the fourth year, it grew to $26,206.67. And at the end of 5 years, your principal amount grew from $1,000 to $32,952.81. Now that we've seen the power of compounding interest, but let's look towards the future. In 10 years, this amount will grow to $68,231.29, and in 15 years, it'll become $107,181.58. In 15 years, you've accumulated over 100K by doing virtually nothing but saving. That is the real power of compound interest. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or if you're not. Everyone needs to save because we will never know what will happen in the future. You can calculate compound interest using this formula. A equals P times 1 plus R over N, all raised to N times T. A is the final amount, P is the principal amount or initial amount of money you invested, R is the interest rate, N is the number of times interest is compounded per time period, and T, you may have figured out, is however many time periods. So to calculate how much money you've gained over a period of 5 years, we can replace P with $1,000, set R to 2%, and if interest is compounded annually, then N will be 1. T will be 5 for 5 years, and we get A, the final amount, to be $32,952.81. It's not only important to start saving for the future, but also for emergencies and other milestones you may eventually go through. Things happen without our control, and the best we can do to deal with these uncontrollable instances is to mitigate them. Accidents, medical issues, kids, marriage, these are all things everyone needs time and money to deal with. And if you already have a fund to help meet these costs, it'll make you and your family's life easier. In addition to that, building a savings fund is the first major step in your path towards financial independence. If you're able to make this into a lifestyle, it'll help you reach your end goal, whatever that may be. For example, if I save a few $1,000s every year, some years down the line when I want to buy a house, with that money, I'll be able to. As a quick reminder, a common method of saving is to follow the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your after-tax income goes towards expenses, 30% for other needs and wants, and 20% is saved. You may have heard of the story of the goose that lays golden eggs. Here's the situation. Would you eat the golden eggs, or would you kill and eat the goose? Eat the eggs, of course. Unless you're vegan, you may have to find some golden plants in that case. Anyways, apply that same thinking here. Imagine you have $100,000 capital saved, and you get an amount of $1,000 every month from the interest accrued from the principal amount. Would you live off of the $100,000 or the interest? You would use the interest because the 100K is what is quote unquote growing the interest money. You would use the interest because the 100K is what is quote unquote growing the interest money. If you use that 100K, then you have neither interest money nor the original principal amount. So, this is all easy to tell, and life isn't such that you can do all this easily. You may be in a situation where you just can't afford to set aside money and are living paycheck to paycheck. It's easy to say set aside X amount of money and use Y amount of money for something, but it isn't possible for a lot of people. I don't have any solution for that, but if you can, you should try to start somewhere and somehow, and everyone should. Try to follow a discipline, and when the time comes that better days are shining on you, then you can start to save in order to be in an even better place in the future. So, to summarize, start early, follow a mindset, and practice consistently. With that, we've reached the end of this video, so thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next part in my series where I'll be talking about credit, credit scores, loans, and debt. This is Newfire, signing out.